Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, I'm waiting for price to break. I think with the London Open here, as we create this low and then break the high, I'm going to be getting stuck in here for a move to the upside. Welcome back, everybody, to the best London session stream. See if we can get some buys over here. Price can create us a support. This would be the London Open fake out. I would like to see this candlestick first close to create that support. We got about 48 seconds. Well done, everybody. Caught the gold longs yesterday from yesterday's video. Man, I can't believe it filled the whole range during Asia session. Like the whole Asia. The Asia took everything. Man, greedy. Greedy people here. Greedy people. We were in the market from the Asia session. So I came in, I got the last, like, towards the highs over there. That's what I was thinking, oh, I could get a sell. I took a sell, I got a break even, then I took a buy. I was like, you know, this buys is still playing out here. We got a reversal confirmation play. So you have to go through the WAP database, and you have to go through those videos and make notes. So right now we're waiting for price to break 43.41, create a small support over there. See if we can get a bullish continuation. It's kind of funny. On my broker, there's no bottom wick here, but on TradingView, there's definitely a bottom wick. There's that 5 minute, expecting this to be a fake out over here. A little bit of a fakie for price to move up bullish. See if we can break those highs. This candle needs to break. Honestly, this candle break creates like a bottom wick over there. See how it reacts. London just opened with a bit of volatility here. It's chopping up. Yeah, it did a small liquidity grab on this 5 minute. You see how it took out the highs on that 5 minute, that previous 5 minute? Just gotta wait. We might need another support to be formed. Yeah, definitely gonna need another support to be formed. Open with a little bit of turbulence over here. Looks like we just went through some Columbus clouds. But everything should be well. Should just create a support over here. It's kind of chopping up a little bit. You see how it's like breaking the high and then pulling down, breaking the low, pulling up, breaking the high, pulling down, breaking the low, pulling up. It's shaking out people right now like a salt shaker. It's trying to shake people out of this trades. Wherever this trade is gonna come out from here. It's shaking them out. But I gotta wait for this candle here to close. Got like 18 seconds now. No comment on 4400. Now 4400, we're going towards 4400. You know, we're on the way to 4400. We're just, you know, like we're on a road trip right now and we just had to make some pit stops, you know, see the sights and everything by 4350 as we head to our main destination over there by 4400. All right, let's see if we can get the break. Need a solid break over there, confirm the move up. It's 5 minutes, new 5 minute candles about to open up too. Would be nice if we got the new 5 minute open with the break. Yes, 5 minute candle here. Perfect. New 5 minute has opened up. Create that bottom wick of my broker, which it has. Now to reflip. We got clean range on the 5 minute. On the left hand side, clean range. Should be a bomber clot. Zero drawdown entry this is. It should be. We're getting zero drawdown on this. All right, I got stuck in. Come on, Goldie, push. Pump it. Fly. Fly, Goldie, fly. I believe in you. All right, guys, securing profits over here. TP has been hit. TP has been hit. Let's go. Come on now. Same black t-shirt, 75 same color t-shirt. I make money. Money doesn't make me. Simple. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. Well done to everybody who caught this little move over here. Little 1-1 trade. Stop loss to break even. Secure something. Leave a runner. Simple. TFX concepts. Lock in or get locked out. Let's go, boys. Zero drawdown. And it looks like zero drawdown now. We had a bit of drawdown, but it looks like zero drawdown. Because it just had that 1 minute candle rip, but it was like flirting with this area for a minute. But in hindsight, now you can see it's like zero drawdown. Told you guys, zero drawdown entries, man. If you want zero drawdown entries, there's no other way. It has to be TFX concepts. And with structure as well. You know, when you trade with structure, you get a lot more confidence in your trades. I still haven't gotten my runner trade for December. I'm looking for a trade maybe around 5%. I still want to get a running trade for about like 5%. I say we got plenty of time. Maybe even today. We'll see what happens if we get any good get streamers over. Yeah, we took this trade here like 5 minutes into stream now. What are we gonna do? Gotta go on holiday. Enjoy your vacation. That's the thing I like about trading, you know. It's like you're gonna be like done so quickly, and then you can just enjoy your vacation. It's not that you have to say, oh, you know, I'm not gonna look at the charts now anymore. I mean, you could just look at the charts for a few times. Like usually you get your setups within the first hourly candle, at least I do. And then, you know, that's it. Like if you could just put aside an hour a day, come on, man, like a whole vacation, an hour a day is so difficult. You can catch a move like this and then go about your day. But you know, that's only possible if you trade in like TFX concepts. If you're going to have big stop losses and you got to monitor your trade throughout the day, you know, that's not nice. You want to be done with your trades like as soon as possible. But yeah, I'm kind of bummed because the moves have been happening so early, or usually time that I'm not like even on the chart. You know? So it's been like outside of my schedule. But I still think it should be good over here. Still think we should be good over here. Oh, where is this thing? Social stream. Gotta open this. Okay, that's coming through. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Did you all watch the video from yesterday though? Write a 1 in the chat if you watched the video from yesterday. Write a 2 in the chat if not. Got a 1. All right, nice. Yeah, man, you know, I make these videos, people don't watch these videos and they're like, oh man, you know. But like, that's the whole idea behind those videos. So you know what the direction is we're looking for. I'll make an update video today, and then we can see what other opportunities are going to be. But it happened like Asia session, man. Like the whole Asia session. You see how the clean ranges here got filled. So basically, this was what we're talking about. The Asia was gonna first open, you know, naturally pull back. You got Tokyo, Sydney open, like we mentioned, and then these were the two ranges to get filled up. As you can see, price came, filled up the range here beautifully. It was about like 91 pips towards that direction. Got a little shotgun play entry over here on this candlestick, broke above. It's all happening in the Asia. Candle broke above. Nice little stop loss below here, below the candle, for price to continue moving up to fill that range, hit that target. Candlestick broke above that range. Then that next range we're talking about was above here. But this is actually where I thought like maybe if Asia filled this, then we would be getting in like right here for pre-London, or like even here. Some people caught this move. This was such a beautiful breakout over here. This was who caught this? Somewhere in the let's see. Yeah, this guy caught this move over here. Ruben. This was a nice ass move right here. Man, I wish that came to me during pre-London. Or taking this little break of structure to continue moving up towards 43, 46. You see 43, 46 got hit. You got a profit taking over here, right? Created a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder head, right shoulder, and then price rolled over. And price came down over there. Yeah, then we just had this little breaky situation here. But you see, we're catching like the tail ends of this thing right now, since we're already by the highs. Catching the tail ends. But look at that sell-off right here. Look how nice that sell-off was. I saw Woods today. Woods today made his first $1,000 with an IV in a hospital. Congratulations, sir. Take care of yourself. Yeah, so now I think price is just gonna range probably. It's probably just gonna range here. We got a support right over here, a little bit of a fake out situation. They got resistance by those highs. We gonna break 43.50. Yeah, we're ranging to actually break 43.50 right now. That's the target. You see for 43.50. There's a reason why price is holding this level. You see that little liquidity grab it just did down here. So it's looking to actually break above that zone. So it's accumulating some orders. We're by the daily resistance points right over here, but we should be seeing all-time highs by December. By the end of December over here, we should at least get the quarterly push up a little bit more to re-break its own highs over here by 40. That's 43.80. 43.80. But you see that little fake out situation on the 5-minute, broke below support. Even with the clean range to move down, it's trading against the market structure, which is predominantly still bullish. You see, we're still moving up bullish, right? So sells, be very cautious on sells. Be very cautious on the sells. Yeah, what else we got over here? I think that's it. Now it's just ranging. It's trapped the sellers. And we're waiting to see if it can pop up. Now, a good time to pop up would actually be now, since it's still like part of the London session open. But if we don't get it now, that means this is just going to arrange like this up until 6 a.m. Eastern. And then at 6 a.m. Eastern, we can start to see price move up again. Most probably, that's going to be the next time volume comes into the market. Too easy. Nice. Predicted zero drawdown from the future. Very nice. Sasri. Good afternoon. Yeah, we got some time travels here. Morning, Vic. Enjoyed the videos this weekend. Keep them coming. Thank you. SadDQ CPT. Yeah, we're locked in, chat. We're locked in. 100%. I don't even know about December vacation, to be honest with you guys. I don't think I'm gonna go for vacation this year, to be honest. Maybe I'm gonna do it sometime next year, like maybe February or something, March, some awkward month like that. Plus, there's a lot of tourists, you know, like if I go to the beach right now, or if I go to like a lot of these other places, it's just going to be full of tourists. It's also a reason, or it's, you know, it's a privilege to be able to do it whenever I want to do it. But yeah, I think for December, I might just lock in a little bit because there's a lot of volume and, you know, prices moving on gold, and we're only going to have like what IC Market said. Luke shared yesterday in the Discord the IC Market's timetable, and they said only 25th and the first. There's not going to be access to trading because of holidays. So that was only like 2 days out of the whole month, you know. Plus, anyway, we're going to have Christmas too. But yeah, for the most part, I think it should be pretty good. Let's see. Happy holidays here. It's a schedule. So you got 24th normal trading hours. We just got 25th and 1st of January. It's going to be IC Market's going to be closed. Yeah, 25th is going to be what? Next week? Next week, Thursday. And then 1st is also going to be on a Thursday of the new year. But for the most part, everything else looks pretty good. Pretty good. Hey Jane, good morning, good morning. What does that mean? I'm not familiar with that word, vacation. I don't know, what does it mean? Vacation from what? What have you achieved this year? Need a vacation from the 9-to-5 job. Need a vacation from the boss. Don't take vacations based off that. Don't take weekends based off that. That's really depressing, you know. Like take a weekend, a nice solid weekend or a vacation saying, oh, you know, this year I worked hard this year. I went to achieve my goals this year. I put in the work this year. You know, did something for myself. But if you're taking a vacation like, you know, finally get a break from the 9-to-5. Finally, like, don't have to deal with the boss and the colleagues. It's not a nice way to go into vacation because, you know, you're just going to be back on the rat race next year. So that's just my number one rule. You know, it's like if you're going to achieve something, then, you know, you can take vacation anytime. You know, you can reward yourself basically throughout the whole year whenever you got free time. You could just trick your mind into rewarding the small time that you have to yourself, you know, as you're building, and maybe you got a weekend off. You could trick your mind, you know, in a way, just to keep you motivated and going, because you don't want to burn out. You know, a lot of people burn out because they're trying to push towards the end of the year, so it's like a burnout phase. And, you know, it's also quite a stressful time when it comes to like families and buying gifts and all of these things. So you might not even have that much of a relaxed time. So like burnout is real. So I think the goal is always to have like some kind of a steady flow or distribution of energy throughout the whole year. You know, that way things kind of move more smoothly and you can keep going, because during this time of year, a lot of traders as well are burning out. You know, some traders, maybe they feel a lot of FOMO, they missed out on a lot of moves. Some traders maybe, you know, it's usually towards the end of the year as well, like traders are going to lose money. They're going to lose majority of the gains that they made throughout the whole year because of FOMO. So you just want to always have some kind of consistent flow of energy, you know, like even if you look at for example, you know, what's it called, like a UPS, they normally like some types of UPS which have this thing called sine wave. Sine wave is distribution of energy, and it's much more smoother like this. And then the cheaper ones usually have the wave look like this, right? So you want like a smooth wave. You want a smooth distribution of energy. You don't want something that you get super motivated, you're consistent for some time, then it comes down like really hard, then you're down for a while, then it goes up again, super motivated, consistent for a bit, then same cycle repeats itself. So you kind of want to have a smooth sine wave, you know, because you're also only human at the end of the day. You will have these little plateaus because you have to create lower lows to, I mean, yeah, you have to create lower lows to sometimes also create higher highs. But it's just a matter of like how is that process look? How does that look like? So I think as you're ending off the year here, important thing to understand is that playbook that you've been working on all year. Make sure that playbook also fits your lifestyle in a way. and kind of makes trading as less stressful as possible. That's always the goal, right? How can I follow this playbook with as less stress as possible? And that's going to help you show up consistently to the market. Consistently catch these bangers. Zero stress. No stress. Hey, I watched your outlook video for today. How everything you analyzed playing out. Exact same way. That was... You know, this is something we've not lost hope in this. Because the way that I look at markets is the same way that I look at my PNL over here. It's like even when markets are, let's say, consolidating like this, even though consolidating, I always got the bigger picture because of my experience, right? So these small things, like people get derailed here because they don't have experience, right? So we've been looking for these longs, like even through this was the drawdown period right over here, but we still know that it's coming out on top. We still know the strategy playbook is still coming out on top. So we just got to wait. You just got to keep believing in your system so you can get through this little patch over here, this little drawdown, and then, you know, it starts to open up. But to be fair, man, I think I should be up so much more right now. But I don't know. We'll see how December goes. Like for me personally, I already hit one of my best months this year, which was in July. In July, I already made about 50%. 50% in July. So I don't have too much FOMO going into 2026 because I've been showing up throughout the whole year. So whereas people are showing up just for this main event towards the end of the year, I've been showing up throughout the whole year. So I already got my larger piece of the cake here in July anyway. So we'll see. Maybe December we can end off at like 30%. We'll see how it goes. Right now about 16%. You just got to keep showing up. You see, the thing is, you never know what month is going to be the best month. That's why it's so important to be locked in. July was my best month, chat. Like literally, July is one of the months which is notorious for me, at least, and for a lot of traders to be really slow because those are the summer months. You know, as we're going into summer months, I have a history of summer months being kind of slow. Even last year, I think I made about like 10% or something in June or July. So showed up this year in summer months, you know, still put in the same effort and had my best month, I think, to date using good risk management. I've had much bigger months than that, but using bad risk management, you know, when you're still growing an account. But this is my first year, man, 50% using good risk management. So I think that's it. What is your highest win rate in trading? My highest win rate? I don't know. What does that mean? Highest win streak, you mean? My highest win streak. Let's see, we got 5 here, we got 6 there. I don't really focus on win streaks, but anyway, look at this, man. This is crazy. 21 trades if I didn't have these 2 small losses over here. Because this was like about 6, and then this was about 8, 5. If I didn't have these 2 small losses, would have been 21. This one is about 9. I don't think you should focus too much on win streaks. 16 if I didn't have this loss over here in March. But you know, win streaks don't really mean anything. You can only judge a trader by his ability to lose, not his ability to win. Like, how much does he lose when he loses? Right? Because I know traders who can have even 30 win streak. I know guys who can trade like 20 trades in a row and get them all, like most of the time, be a winning trade because their strategy depends on it being a winning streak. The problem with those traders, I also know, is when they do take that loss, holy, you're gonna be surprised what you're gonna see there. But you know, I know a guy who can do like 30 trades in a row, like back-to-back wins. It's only when the loss comes in, that's when, you know, you're gonna get the character development. This same guy, I'm not gonna mention any names, but he took a buy over here. He took a buy over here on a Friday. He bought the high as price had already moved up because he trades the New York session. He bought it right here, chat. He bought the high. He got away with a winning trade, but the guy bought the high. If this guy, usually what happens is if it goes into drawdown, he's basically fucked, right? Because the strategy also depends on martingale to dig himself out. So he pretty much caught the last push. But imagine, like, you know, all it takes is just one bad day. All it takes is just one bad day, one trade mismanaged, and basically you're gonna find yourself in a huge drawdown. And we're talking about 900 pips over there. You know, even if you martingale, it could be still very difficult because any pushes over here would not be enough for you to effectively manage your risk. Even if you secured something small here and closed there, it would still be a pretty big loss. Yeah, so win streaks are not as important as managing your trades daily, date to date. What's the target by this week? Oh, this week we're looking at 4,400 and beyond. But let's get to 4,400 first. Let's get a 4. Oh, a nice little breakout here too. Let's get a 4,400 first. That's gonna be the target of the week. Let's see. It's really not that far off. Just get at least like all-time highs, about 562 pips away. 500 plus pips away. That's where we're heading to. This year, man, fireworks. Fireworks this year. You know, because this week we have a lot of red folders coming in. If you look at this right over here. We got a bunch of folders. We got a bunch of folders. Yeah, we got what do we got? Mainly Tuesday though. We got ADP on Tuesday. Got ADP core retail sales, NFP retail sales, flash manufacturing. So all of this should be giving us also official bank rates, quite important for the pound. They're looking at 25 basis point cut. So you might see some pullbacks on GJ as you head off towards the end of the year. But yeah, man, this is a lot of good news here today. Oh man, look at this distribution. Still distributing that entry over there. It's a nice one. Maybe that could be a bomber clot, more of the bomber clot. This one pushed up only about like 30 pips. This one maybe has a chance to push up longer since it's like the second attempt. Oh, we see we're flirting with that resistance. See, Goldie's trying to break. It's trying to break its accumulated orders here. It's done fake outs below support. It's just finding its legwork to break above and then continue running up bullish. So yeah, I think this one had a pretty good chance to distribute further along, I guess. Oh, you're long since 36-ish. 36, nice. Very nice. Now let's see Paul Allen's card. When did this nitwit get so tasteful? Let's see Paul Allen's card. That's how everybody is here on the Discord. It's like that scene from American Psycho. Everybody's just sharing the card over here. Oh, beautiful. Let's make crossover. Very tasteful. Color coding right there. Also, you took a break even on the sell. Oh, yo, secured some profits. Then a break even. Very nice. Oh, look at this one. Got some very nice coloring over here. Nice engraved background. See, you got some grids on there. Ooh, look at this buy. Simple card, straight to the point. You know, it's just got the name, all the information that you need on this one. It's just got the name, nothing else. Just a plain white card with just the name right over here. Very nice. Yeah, this guy means business. You see a card like this, simplicity but big moves. Very big moves. What if we can get a gift? Impressive. Let's see Paul Allen's card. So send in your chat work, guys. Send in your chat work. Let's see your cards. Let's see your cards for the day. Let's see your cards for the day, everybody. Let's see who's been putting in the work. Put in the losses too. Put in the losses too. Because you gotta learn from the losses too. What's the best month and worst month to trade? I don't think it exists a best month and worst month to trade. You just gotta show up. That's all, like, you know, Fugazi's thing. Like, people are gonna tell you summer months are slow, or, oh, this was a buy. This is a buy that we took here. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, you know, some people are gonna tell you summer months are slow, December months are slow, the birthdays are slow. But it, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, the more you show up, the luckier you get. Because nobody knows. Like, nobody knows how that market's gonna be. So you just have to come. Morning, everyone. New here. Good morning, Naz. Excited for a coming journey. I'm Naz from the UK. Watched my first live last week. Where to start on this Discord? Trying to navigate. Oh, welcome. See, do we got Ricardo still in here? I think Ricardo left. Wanted to see if he watched this video. This guy, Kaz, went to Ricardo's neck of the woods. There. Oh, he is in the Discord. Oh, here. Yeah, did you watch the video? End up watching it? I think this has a good chance of going viral, this one. But you know how YouTube is? They're probably going to take it down. But he started blurring. The good thing is he started blurring the scenes, so hopefully YouTube wouldn't take it down. Imagine just being a tourist on holiday and seeing Kaz running around chasing people saying, "Give me your tears. Give me your tears." Yeah, I love his content nowadays. Kart's he's a man of culture. Yeah, it's bad how Portugal was and how Lisbon is now. How was the trip? You know this guy, by the way. Yeah, looks a lot like my friend in university. He was also Portuguese. His name was Fabio. He also had like this very light brown eyes, and he looked like very similar, like everything, except the mustache. Well, he did have a mustache, but not like this. This guy's like a spokesperson. Portuguini. I'm surprised the video is still up. 934K. Yeah, YouTube is probably gonna try and take it down. But let's see how long it stays up for. Portuguini. Vic, can you explain today reversal trade? I saw first time you took reversal trade. Yeah, it's like when price basically, you know, we speak about this. It's like when price gives a hard time, it's usually some kind of a reversal. So you see, as price, let's say, breaks below a support. Let's say if this support and you're expecting price to go down, and if it holds that area like this and doesn't move down and ends up breaking like a key wick, that's going to be a reversal confirmation towards the upside, right? Because usually when you take a trade, it shouldn't do this. If it does that next to your entries, it means it's giving you a hard time. It means that there's a chance that, you know, price can go against you, so you have to manage your risk. Ideally, you just want to see your trades play out like this. Let me show you. Like here or like here. You know, you don't want them to give you a hard time. So that's just one way of getting a reversal confirmation, is spotting a consolidation after entries. I am long on gold right now. Godspeed, Eisen. See, yeah, he's a YouTuber, is far right. He is arrested many times, but he is right on what he says. Look what happened in Australia this weekend. What happened? Australia? What happened this weekend? Yeah, but actually it's really wild what's going on there. I didn't know it was that bad until Kurt actually started showing it. Because for me personally, I don't pay attention to that. You know, like when I'm walking down the street, I don't go around thinking to myself, oh, why are they more foreigners than Portuguese, for example? But like when somebody mentions like in a video like that, then it's like, oh, damn. And then he goes to all these cities and then he shows you there's more foreigners than locals. You're like, hey, what's going on here? Because where I live, for example, there's not more foreigners than locals. Like if you go to a country, you'd be expecting to see Australians or you'd be expecting to see Germans, you know? But it's quite interesting. Bondi Beach. Father and son who killed 15 people at Bondi Beach. As PM pushes for tougher gun laws. Wow. And Bondi Beach is like one of the really popular ones. Beaches. People got guns in Australia? I didn't know this. Man, only people who should... They should, yeah, make the gun laws a lot more strict. Actually, you know, there's a pretty high probability that if you own a gun that you're gonna get shot by it. So it's not always the greatest way of protection. Actually, just having it around the house is gonna give a higher probability for you to get screwed as well. Maybe offer some tasers. Why not just give people tasers or something like that, you know? You get like AKA tasers or something. You know, you just want to put the guy out. You just want him out. You don't want to kill him. You just want him out. They put the die in Bondi. Yeah, it's insane. And take care, everybody. You know, during the Christmas time, people kind of lose their senses. You know, like people don't drive properly. There's a lot of accidents and that sort of thing. So you know, be careful as you travel. Always watch the car not in front of you, but the car in front of the car in front of you too. It takes 2 cars to make an accident, and then you're gonna be behind that one. So yeah, just be careful. My wife takes pepper spray every time she goes, oh, with you to Lisbon. Yeah, you know, like just allow people to take like pepper spray, tasers. But this whole gun thing is just insane. Anyway, let's see. Price is coming up towards resistance here. Still trying to find its legwork to break above. And then keep moving up bullish. That whole concept got me 2 wins today. Too easy. Very nice. Yeah, these are the times that I usually tell people about. That if you want to pass challenges, flip accounts, this is when you do it. Like, but you have to be locked in. You got to wait. You got to understand when that volume is coming in. Typically when we get events happen. And then this is the best time. Like for me, this is how I used to pass my challenges. You know, I would wait to be extra careful. I'd wait for a time like where there's volume like this. Because it's a lot easier to get a winning trade. You know, because the market's super directional. So if you want to flip an account or like pass challenges, this is usually the best time, because the idea is like when you're passing challenges or doing accounts, you want to do it as fast and as safe as possible, as efficiently as possible. So when the volume ends up going back to normal, then you can trade normally after achieving what you wanted to achieve. But, you know, a lot of people do challenges when there's low volume, prices consolidating, you know, like, for example, here on the daily. When this price has no volume, it's waiting and they don't know why price is doing this, and they're just like jumping into it with no education. That's why education is so important, because now you're just gonna fall yourself into this trap, and then later on see something like that, and then you're gonna be like, oh wow, gold has moved, oh my god, and then like wow, when gold starts to die out again, that's when you buy a next challenge. Then you kind of like get stuck in this loop, because you're not seeking education, you're just seeking quick gains. Been lacking on the gym of late. Only been hitting once a week. See Paul Allen's card. Anybody else sending a card? No cards? Is today gonna be ATH? My brother. It's very possible. It's very possible. Look at the size of this candle here from Friday. This is very possible. We could hit even 4,400 today. It could be all-time highs. Bullrun. People make a lot of money over here. Towards the end of the year. If you realize a lot of traders are already going to take breaks. You're going to take breaks, most of them, by this point. Then you're going to see the market moves by this point. But you know, there's some traders who don't know what vacation is. Like, there are literally some guys who are just going to trade as much as they possibly can. I think a lot of them are like that. You know, when you look at a trader's psychological mindset, they're a bit of a degenerate. You have to be a bit of a degenerate as well. Right? These guys are definitely going to be on the charts. Especially when opportunities move like this, the market's just too easy not to trade. It's like when somebody leaves money on the street, like obviously, you know, there's money on the street. You're just going to go pick it up. Even if you don't want to wake up and do the thing that you need to do, you know it's easy money, so you're just gonna kind of push yourself out of it to go and get it. Money on the street, man. That's Wall Street. The Wall Street time. But I don't know about other things. I know gold is moving nice. I don't know much about like other stuff. Other stuff should also be moving, I guess. Let's see Nvidia. Oh, wow. Nvidia's dumping. I think maybe they're going to get some profit taking here. Because Nvidia needs its own fundamentals to continue moving up bullish. It's different from gold. See how Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin's still hovering. It's at a 1.93%. The daily is quite nice though. The daily looks like there's a bit of volume in there. It looks like it's accumulating, getting ready for a push. It might be a big push up or a big push down, depending on what direction it breaks, whether it breaks above here or it breaks below here. But it's accumulating orders right now. It's getting ready for a push. Plenty of money in the river. Yes, you just gotta cast your rod. Exactly. Plenty of money in the river. Imagine that. Trillions of dollars being traded here. Just gotta cast your rod and be patient. And don't move the rod around too much. You know, you gotta have your rod at specific areas. Because it's my specific fishing point. So every day I come, I set up my chair. Like this. And then I sit on my chair. Every day. And then I just fish. Like this is my specific fishing point right over here. Even if I know there's, you know, probability of more fish over here, I don't focus on that. I just focus on the fish that I can catch right now. And then, you know, then I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to put it here in my little ice box. Boom, boom, boom. Not be greedy because we want sustainable fishing. You know, we don't want to overfish the pond. We just want to get a few fish, you know, go have some lunch. Then maybe come back, see how it's doing. And, you know, if we all did this, I think the world would be a better place. There would be less stress. There'll be plenty of fish in the water. And yeah, it's a good thing that the fish aren't that easy to catch, so we don't have a sustainability problem here. Because most people are there's a way that the market, it filters the greedy, you know, so then it just pays the ones who are sustainable. The ones who take like, you know, 1 or 2 trades a day, maybe 3 trades maximum. Market's gonna pay you, disciplined. If you're greedy, it's not gonna pay you. You say, man, this guy right here is trying to overfish. Can't have overfishing. Like, I remember also the first time I ever went deep sea fishing. Yeah, my mate was so, like, he loves fishing. Everywhere he goes, he takes his fishing rod with him. And he was like, yo, I really want to go deep sea fishing. So we went on a vacation. I was like, oh man, I don't want to go deep sea fishing. Then it's like, screw it. Like, it's on me. I'll pay for everything, blah, blah, blah. Because he just wanted to do it. I really didn't want to do it. But, you know, since we're on a vacation anyway together, and, you know, it's his hobby, it's his passion, he was going to do it anyway. I was like tagging along. And as we were fishing, this guy thought he was going to be reeling in like 20 kg barracudas, tunas, whatever. And the whole trip, man, he was only able to catch like just pretty decent small size fish. But man, I caught the biggest fish that day. And I was the one who didn't even want to go for the trip. I caught about like a 25 kg tuna, right? I was reeling that thing in for like about 20 minutes. I think it was like roughly about 20 minutes. And it's such a workout, man. Like, I literally almost gave up towards the end. Then the fisherman was like, it's literally right here. And I said, okay, fuck it. Let's just get it. I got it out. But like, that's the thing. Like, I didn't want to catch it, and I caught the biggest one, but he wanted to catch one so bad, but he could only catch the small ones. You know, that's a life lesson right there. The universe just has a funny sense of humor. It's like trading, exactly like trading. The more you want it, the more it runs away from you. You know, also like when you're chasing money, the more you want that money, the more it's gonna run away from you. What's that? Double top? Yeah, double top, but it's still moving up over here. We might see a big push up come in soon. This thing is gonna skyrocket soon here. It's so tempting not to overfish on days like this. So tempting. I feel like over trading. But I gotta remain disciplined. It's like, man, you know there's so much fish in there and you just have to hold yourself back. It's breaking the highs. It's attempting to, it's gonna attempt to go up now. It's attempting to break. It's attempting to break. It's up right now 1.07%. It needs to get out of this zone. Come on, Goldie, push through it. Now it's broken the highs. It's on its way. It's off to the races. So tempting. So much fish in the water right now. It's just like those Bible stories, you know, like the guy standing in the ocean and, you know, is hungry and then God sends him like so much fish and like all the fish just slapping him in the face. Bah, 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 bah. It's like, thank you, God. Thank you. Yeah, it's really good time. Really good market conditions here. But I'm off for the day already beyond 2%, so I'm quite happy. You know, like even when God gives you about that, all that fish to eat, you should still be humble, you know. Just take a few of the fish, you know, thank you for him. And then he will see that humble character in you. And he's gonna say, man, this guy, you can trust this guy over here. Then sees the other guy who's like trying to get all the fish in and not even leave one unturned. And he knows that guy is gonna be greedy, so why trust him with anything? Fortunately, the real world doesn't work like that, and money doesn't know the difference. But, you know, it's still good for your own character development. Because you should always have something in you with a bit of integrity, you know, at the end of the day. Even though you have free will to do whatever you want to do. See, today ATH, yes sir, yes sir. Gold is going higher, or I am breaking up. No, you can't break up with gold. You can't break up with gold. Gold is like a Megan Fox over here. Megan Fox in her prime days. That's what gold is. Look at this, Megan Fox right now. It's already pushed up here like 20 pips. So tempting, so tempting. You know, you can look, but you can't touch. I trade like 30 times already and not much been going into my way. Oh. Look but don't touch, guys. Look but don't touch. I don't remember which video you mentioned that, but I love your analogies. Thank you, thank you. Potential reversal, only if you want whips. Silver already broke now, it's gold time. Yes. Gold climbs to 43.50 as traders chase fresh record high before end of year. See this? Tabloids over here. Traders chase fresh record high before end of year. You know, one thing on this channel is we trade based off of information. We don't trade based off of our opinions. You're going to see in a lot of these other channels, a lot of these other people, they're going to tell you things like, oh, you know, it's a year end, nothing's going to happen, gold's going to be slow. But here we trade based off information, not opinions. There's nothing I'm giving you here which is like my own opinion. I'm basing all of this off of a very objective perspective. See, gold climbed to around 43.50, sitting less than 1% below its October record high. That's striking distance, and traders know it. Exactly. That's a striking distance right there. That's a striking distance, you know. We can hit all-time high. Simple. And I think ATH is a magnet right now for price because it's within striking distance. It's very hard for us traders to resist pushing price. Oh, Wall Street. Bullion is up roughly 65% this year, turning what was once a safe haven into one of 2025 best performing assets. Over here. Best performing assets. And it's also been the best decision that I made this year was to trade gold. That was the best decision that I made this year. Up 300% this year. Chose the right instrument and stuck with the instrument the whole year. The best performing asset was gold. Bullion is up roughly 65% this year, turning what was once a safe haven. With momentum intact, the metal is weighing a year-end breakout that could rewrite the closing chapter. Dollar softness fueled the move. A weaker US dollar and softer treasury yields are giving gold a fresh lift, making it cheaper and more attractive for overseas buyers. Non-yielding assets like gold benefit when interest rates fall because there's less opportunity cost, meaning less income lost by holding metal instead of bonds. Last week, Fed cut reinforced that dynamic, even as policymakers hinted they may pause further easing. See, data could decide the final. Traders now look into Tuesday's delayed November non-farm payrolls and October retail sales for clues on the Fed's next move. November CPI follows on Thursday, and any inflation surprise could quickly change rate expectations and gold's trajectory. With prices close to a record, the next few sessions may decide whether gold ends the year with fireworks or just a golden glow. Very nice. Yeah, I think we got some fireworks here. Damn, it's kind of weird to see it like written because these are like things that I just say. I don't really expect TradingView to be saying stuff like that. Got some fireworks here. Or just a golden glow. Yeah, I think, you know, either way, golden glow doesn't sound too bad either, you know. Not bad. Golden glow. Bullion up 65%. Yeah, I mean, like, think about this. My 65% is maybe a fraction of the price of the amount of volume that's actually been traded. Remember, it's a $1 trillion market traded daily, right? So how much I've made percentage wise is such a small fraction of the amount of money that's traded in the actual market, right? Because you can't trade large amounts of money the way I trade. Because so let's say, for example, I'm trading a lot of money, right? And equivalent to that 65%, I would not be able to profit off a trade like this. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to move the market. As I move the market, I'm creating slippage for myself. So I'm basically in drawdown. The heavier my position is, the more drawdown I'm in. So you can't compare it like that. It doesn't work. When you're a market maker, you trade very, very differently. So 65% of the amount of money that's been traded here is insane. It's more money than I think anybody's going to see, you know. Like Elon Musk is only worth, how much is he worth? Like 500 billion? His whole net worth. We're talking about a market which moves trillions of dollars daily. Hey, new member here. It's me, Ginger. Welcome, welcome. What's up, sir? You're set up on trades taken. Yeah, we're sharing our business cards here. Let's see, Rainsy's. Very nice. Rainsy's always got some nice looking cards over here. See, you got resistance. Boom, boom, boom. Side pips, okay. Price broke above consolidation right here. Expecting price to keep moving up. We're moving up too, though. What's your target? Missing some important information here on your card. What's the target gonna be? 64, 68? 43, 64? Elon needs to step up his game. Isn't it crazy? We're in 2025 here, approaching towards the end of 2025, and we still don't have an Elon Musk cologne. You know, Elon Musk should name his cologne Elon's Musk. And if you're watching this, Elon, you know, just give me like 10%. 10%. Give you the idea. Start your own cologne brand, call it Elon's Musk, and give me 10%. You're gonna make a lot of money. Gonna smell like money while you make money. Hey, Talent Isaac, thank you for the sub. You will share a lot of interesting, informative things daily for free. Thanks, mate. Yeah, that's what we're in. We're in the business of information, and I think that's what we need to be doing, is sharing information. And that's the whole idea behind the Discord too, is so we can share information with each other. You know, we're in a very information-driven industry. So I think the more information you can provide people and the more value you can provide people and make it simple to digest is definitely a skill on its own too, in a market which is so complicated like this. You know, because, you know, trading at the end of the day, it's not simple. It's definitely not simple, but it's an art to make it simple. Yeah, I got Elon's Musk X Vic anti-drawdown deodorant. Little collaboration. Do you live stream other sessions? No. I only live stream London. Oh man. But you know, there's plenty of information. Because at the end of the day, you're seeking information, right? You need information. So where are you going to get that information? Why do people at hedge funds spend $25,000 for each trader to have a Bloomberg terminal? Why? Why not just get them on a free trading view plan? ATH or leaving girlfriend? ATH, damn, if people really want the ATH today, it could be met today, but we're definitely looking at it for the end of the week. You know, this week, come on, ATH has to be like this week. It has to be this week. We're literally in striking distance of ATH. It has to be this week. So I'm going to be here, chat. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be trading for December holidays. I don't think I'm going to do much. I said I'll probably take my vacation when I see markets maybe kind of slow down. Maybe in February, March, something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, man, what's the day's target for the gold? You know, if you just get into a buy and your trade starts to play out, it's a matter of asking yourself, instead of what the day's target is how much percent do you want to secure You know, because sometimes you're going to have a trade go like 50 pips into profit, but let's say you didn't secure anything and then it starts coming down and down again like this, right? So you should be asking yourself, if I get stuck into a buy and it starts to play out in my favor, how much am I willing to take before getting myself out? Like, what's my goal? Is it 3%, 5%, and something that's not too crazy, right? Because you don't want to be too greedy. And then just look to secure around close to that amount, instead of just chasing like a target, you know, because you might be getting stopped out. Because I think the people chasing targets, man, if you got in during the Asia time already, even having a move like this is already a lot of profits, right? So you don't need to necessarily chase any targets. Just based off of your entry and your stop loss and your risk reward and your risk percentage, just see how much are you willing to walk away from the market with today. Because when you focus too much on the targets, you're gonna have like, you're not focusing properly on what you should be doing, which is still making money at the end of the day. You know, that's the number one goal, is how can you pull something out of the market. So don't focus too much on the targets. If you're next to a target, awesome, but profit is profit. Yeah, your target should be to make money today. That's a job that you're in. That's a, you know, that's a business that you're in. Is how can I make money today? You're an entrepreneur, you know. So that's the question you're asking yourself. You're not asking yourself, could we chase a target? Most entrepreneurs, I guess, they're gonna ask themselves, how? Oh, wait, kind of dipped off there for a second. Let's see. My target is follow the plan. Very good. Mento does not have journals for me. Is just a scammer. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have some kind of journals. Oh yeah, what's the easiest way to know if someone is making money from trading or not scamming people? The easiest way, I guess there's no really like easy way. It just comes down to your ability to judge character, right? If you're the type of guy who's impressed with Mamba effects and, you know, the women and the cars and the lifestyle, then that's your judgment of character. That's just who you are. So you're gonna be most likely to fall for those traps, right? But if you're a more serious individual and you're looking for a more mature type of traders, then you're gonna have a less time getting scammed over there. It's all about judgment of character. I think that's all that it is. And everybody's gonna judge like slightly differently based off where they are currently in their life. Some people on stream are young, you know. Some people watching me are probably like 15 years old. They're more impressionable of those other guys, for example. And other people watching me are like in their 50s, their 60s. They're less impressionable of those guys. So I think it's definitely like an individual based thing. For me, I've always been looking for serious, mature traders since the beginning. Like, and I don't know why, but I just naturally gravitated towards more serious, down to earth people because it felt more real and it felt more close to where I was. As opposed to watching a guy already in a Bugatti, I could watch a guy who's still making a good amount of money, but he's more realistic. You know, it felt more down to earth. So that's what I focused on when I was seeking education. Not people, just like boring people. Like I used to watch a lot of like Singaporean lecturers too, and like people who don't show anything fancy, stuff like that. Because I know that they're the ones most willing to actually teach you something, you know. The other guys, they kind of like foreshadow their knowledge with their success. So you think they have a lot of knowledge based off their success, but when it comes down to getting that knowledge, you start to realize they don't actually have as much knowledge as you thought, right? Because they can't really speak too much about markets because they're really good at selling something else. And I think with more experience in the market, you start to realize that too. You start to really differentiate between the actual traders and the fugazi traders. Like for me personally, right now it's super easy. Like even if you show me a chart and you claim to make, let's say, $500,000 a year, and I see the way that you trade and I know the way you do analysis, I can easily call out the bullshit. Very easily. Very, very easily. Very, very easily. Even some traders in chat, like who claim to be profitable, I can see through the smoke and mirrors. I can see through the smoke and mirrors. It's very simple. You can't fool someone who's been in the industry for a long time. That's why you have to be honest with yourself. If you're truly not profitable, you know, be willing to learn. Because I also fell into a stage where I also felt like I knew it all, right? We all get to that point. We're traders at the end of the day. We all have an opinion, and I respect that opinion too. We all have this thing in us where it's like, okay, no, we're right. We figured it out, right? I get it 100%. And I embrace that on my channel, and I want you to feel that way too, because that's you building your confidence. That's you building your edge. But when you go to bed at night, you got to know the truth, right? You got to know the truth. That's all I'm going to say. Trader Nick's really good trader. Oh, Trader Nick? Nick? Which Nick? I feel like there's a lot of Nicks. There's a lot of Nicks, you know, there's one Vic. I don't know any other Vic. We got Nick, we got Vic. Nickelodeon. Oh, Nickelodeon. I haven't watched Nickelodeon since I was a kid. Bob Schreider. Or what's the guy's name? Bob Schneider? Yeah, who owns Nickelodeon, right? Nick Nolte. Oh. Nick Nolte. This guy? Guy's 84 years old. Nicholas King Nolte. It can't be this guy. It's an American actor. Received a Golden Globe Award as well as nominations. Hey man, I just want to say thank you for everything. You definitely helped up my psychology for the year. That's great, man. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. We want to go into the next year with good psychology. 2026. Heck, not even next year. We want to go into this day with good psychology because we don't have time to waste. Right? I have time to waste. Gotta get tired of the bullshit as fast as possible, that you can stop making the right moves that you need to be making to put yourself in a position to get splashed. So don't postpone anything. You know, if you have that playbook right next to you today, look, audit your thinking today, audit your thinking and see how you approach the market and see what you might need to improve every day. Did you feel FOMO when you woke up and you realized gold had already moved 1% on the daily? Did that make you take a bad trade, or did you remain composed? Did you practice composure and maintain your stance as a trader and your system, like executing based off your plan and then taking your trade based off your plan, and you didn't have anything phase you? Or were you actually phased by the fact that the market moved up so much? You know, it's just like the devil's in the details. It's always the small things that we ignore are the things which are going to actually propel us to success. There's a small little rejection wick over here. Break of the lows by 43.43. It's getting like a nice little pull up over here. And yeah, let's see if we can make a reach for the all-time highs. It doesn't really need to push that much. Like from where we already peaked today, we only need about 45 more pips. From where we peaked today. A 5-minute can do easily 80 pips, and all we need is 45 more pips from that point. So we might be seeing all-time highs today. Hopefully we catch it on stream here with everybody. Or it might be coming in during pre-NY session. Trader Nick's really honest guy in the industry. Yes, he's a very religious, honest guy. That was my first impression of him. Rumor has it that cave drawings are what's left of Vic's home study in his college days. I do on average over 500k weekly, and my contract size on gold is 100 lot minimum. I've been trading for over 9 years. I followed your channel purely because you speak positivity. Oh wow, thank you, Tissy. Really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. You can join the Discord here too. You can send in your chart work. We'll be very interested to see. Let's see. I tried FN competitive trade last month. I'm new here. I just subscribed to your comment on some reliable traders. Trader Nick, Fabio of TTA, and Justin. Who are those? Justin Bieber? I don't know Justin Bennett, and I don't know Fabio. Yeah, I only know Nick because he came onto the channel once and left a really nice comment over here. Oh, Fabio. Oh, Fabio Valentini. Oh, I remember this guy because he's got a name that sounds like some kind of cologne. Or like some designer clothes over here. Fabio Valentini. Yeah, that guy is a scalper, right? There's a high frequency almost type of trader, isn't it? Like I'm in and out of the market quite quick. So me and Fabio are actually quite similar in that regard. Right? It's like a Fabio trade right here, right? Like we're both in and out of the market like quite quick. Because we're looking for those efficient pushes, I think. Yes, lol, he's a world-class scalper. Yeah, I think we're like similar like this. But I don't know, it'd be quite interesting to see where his entries are. Like, if they're a break of structure or if they're within ranges, then that's going to be the differentiating factor. But if it's getting entries the same like at the break of wicks and structure, then we might be on the same page. Because he's a scalper too. Oh yeah, world's best competition trader. Yeah, exactly. You see, you got to be a scalper to be able to do that. You have to be able to be in and out of the market, get efficient entries. I'm sure he's an efficient guy too. I'm sure he doesn't like to waste pips, for example. He likes to measure things out. If he's a scalper, because you know, as scalpers, we have to be very efficient. We have to be very refined in our approach. Damn, Goldie's ain't playing. Yeah, Goldie ain't playing, man. It's like we just need a candle here to pop up like, you know, 45 more pips from where we are. This thing's gonna create all-time highs, possibly on stream. Why are you running? Why are you running, Gold? Why are you running? Chat, I can't wait for this channel to blow up, honestly. It's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be refreshing in the industry once this channel here like fully blows up. It's gonna be very refreshing. I think the industry needs a channel like this. I think a lot of the other channels are just regurgitating ICT, and it's a lot of regurgitation of the same crowd following the same people and same strategy. There's no growth, there's no innovation. It's all the same garbage. So like price can move up over here. Come on, Goldie, let's fly. Oh, my bad. It's not... Did I say 45 pips? My mistake. It's not 45 pips to all-time highs. It's, I think I got confused with a lower time frame, chat. It's about 300 pips extra that we need to push to the all-time highs. But we can still do that. Definitely still within striking distance. My bad. What was I looking at here? Oh, I think I was looking at this high. Why did I think it was 45 pips? Yeah, we definitely need a lot more volume, about 300 more pips. But it's within range. Definitely hit that. He uses order flow plus market structure. Nice. Yeah, he uses the what software is that he uses for the order flow? Deep stacks. How much is that monthly? See. Deep stacks volume. Deep charts. Deep chart. Deep chart. Deep chart. Deep volume is an indicator designed. Oh, it's a trading view thing. No, but I don't think it's this one. Yeah, it's a kind of footprint thing. Oh yeah, I was expecting a much nicer looking website. Deep candles. Take your trading to the next level. Follow smart money with your X-ray chart. With our X-ray chart, and boost your edge on profits. Oh, nice X-ray chart. I like that. 100 plus indicators. See, oh, refresh rate. What's that? 0.025 seconds. Very nice. Follow the smart money by seeing their trades. Very clean. 99 bucks a month. Order flow coming soon. I thought this was order flow. Anyway. That's very good. 99 bucks per month. Oh, this is monthly for the year. Per month. Oh, there's no monthly plan. It's coming soon. 3 months, $139. $139 a month. I like the color scheme. Color scheme looks really nice. Look up Edge Finder. Yeah, this one's not marketed nicely. Compared to the other website looked really good. Get powerful trade ideas generated by AI. Edge Finder scans technical trends, macroeconomic data, institutional activity. All right. It's like AI driven, this one now. Find better trading setups. Unlock Edge Finder setups algorithm. Very good. Seasonality. It gives you data. That's the important thing, you know. At the end of the day, if you need data, if you need this type of data, then awesome. You got your COT data. You don't really have to pay to have COT. You don't really have to pay to have an economic heat map. You can get those for free. Data scanners, probably. Seasonality. You could probably get a lot of these things for free though. Like the ones mentioned here at least. But I guess it consolidates the information for you, and that's the value that they're providing too. Yeah, very nice. Let's see, how much does this cost? $840 for one-time payment. Oh, one-time payment, $840. Wow, you gotta pay $840 for this? If you're not a profitable trader, you gotta pay $840 for this. You need a whip. You need a whip. Because you should be paying that money in your education, not in trying to do this. Oh, it's Trader Nick? What the hell is Trader Nick doing here? What the hell is this? Trading company? Is Trader Nick's website? $850. Okay, all right. It also got some signals in here. Hey, this Trader Nick. Why was he not on the homepage? How did I even get to this? Yeah, this guy trades mainly based off of he likes the additional information, Trader Nick. I think he's more like this than technical, fundamental and technical trend trader. But I think he's got like a good perspective in terms of other things also which move markets besides just the technicals. So Marco Greguric, Ivind Baidal, and Chris Pulva. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Alright, awesome. Now let's focus on reading candlesticks. Because that's all that we get here. As candlesticks. Yeah, it looks like this. I like the background. It's not like black. It's got like a really nice kind of like a really nice grayish, darkish grayish tone to it. Back to reality. Yes, sir. Back to reality. This is where it all happens. This is where the magic happens now. When you gotta read candles and you gotta read if price is consolidating, if it's setting up over here. You know, because at the end of the day, you can put on anything above here, but these moves only happen if you imagine that to be a consistent trader, you have to have a consistent system. Then you need a system which is obviously consistent. Right? There's a way the market moves consistently. So even if you put anything above here, it's just extra confluence, but the market's going to move anyway. Because if it really moved off of that just one system that you think it is, whether it's order flow or anything, then we would all be using it. Trust me, I'll be using it. Everybody would be literally using it. But, you know, there's a reason everybody doesn't use it. And I'm sure if you were to actually go on Wall Street, for example, and they have their own machines to read the order flow and everything, it's most likely not the softwares retail traders are using. And they're most likely getting very different readings and interpreting it very differently. And yeah, I mean, if I always say if you really care about it, and you still want to be having some kind of closure, whether it is what you think you're doing is correct, find a way to get into Wall Street and talk to those guys over there and see if like go meet that Einstein looking guy and see if he can give you some real genuine insight, you know. Like for me, that's it. That's the only way that I can make sense of those order flows and everything. Like I actually need to go and see what's happening. But since I can't do that, and realistically speaking, that's most likely not going to happen for like 98% of us, maybe even more. You just got to focus on what you got, right? Because there's no second guessing. There's no what ifs over here when you're reading candles, because candles are what you're trading at the end of the day. You're getting good at reading anatomy of candles and market structure and seeing what the hit rate is with your strategy, right? So no one can take that away from you. Your ability to read market structure and candlesticks and following news, for example, and kind of like following where the money is. You know, that's how we know price on gold was going to be moving so much, is because we're following the news. So we know where the money is heading, you know. So these are things we can prove based off of like what we're seeing people even speaking about. So it's not like we're alone in this, you know. Sometimes when you're going to use those other softwares, you're going to be also kind of alone in it, and you're gonna follow it based off of like just being alone. But you know, for me, when I look at flow of money, I want to flow with money with people, right? I want to see where the people are gonna be at and what's the word on the street. You know, you gotta put your ear on the street and see what people are saying, what's the sentiments out there. So that's how I do it. I do the old-fashioned way. Nothing too impressive here on my channel, unfortunately, but you know, that works. Old is gold. Do you know a channel called UK Spread Betting? No. What does that have to do with trading? Has paintball indicator. Exactly. That's how it looks. But to each their own. To each their own. The thing I love about traders is traders are very passionate about what they do, and you know, I have a respect for them, even if they use order flow or whatever that they use, trend lines, because I love the way that traders are so passionate about what they do, you know, because you should always take pride in your work, whatever it is that you do. You know, if you take pride in your work, it's always a good perspective. Like, you give people a good perspective. Like, I meet people sometimes who trade in real life and always so passionate about the way they look at markets, and that's always nice to hear other people's opinions and get that, because there's no one way to trade. Like, people make money in so many different ways. It's just like a matter of, like, you know, what kind of works for you, and if you're happy with it, then, you know, all the best. More power to you. More power to you. Maybe this consolidation here. We got support, we got resistance. It's still accumulating right now. It's getting ready for another push, much like the one that we had here before. And then you see we had that breakout. We spoke about that one too. It's doing the same thing here, but it's a much larger one. So we're really trying to inch up towards the all-time highs right now. But we haven't yet seen like a solid distribution yet. Right? Oh, we had like small one here too. Little push, small one here, little push, small one here, little push. Now we got a much bigger one here, waiting for the push above 43.50, and we're gonna see how far that can actually run. UK Spread Betting, they have a good trading channel. Yeah, I'm sure they do, because you know, there's a fine line between trading and gambling. And of course, them being in the gambling industry, they will have to incorporate some more gambling techniques like trading, because they want people to gamble and lose money. And that's why they're doing trading on UK sports betting. Because it's a fine line. It's such a fine line, you know. It's like when you differentiate trading and gambling, it's that extra trade that you take that you shouldn't have taken. It's that rule that you broke that you shouldn't have broken. I think to be a profitable trader, waiting for the clear trend and clean setup to trade, and also be patient enough to avoid no clear trend and no clean setup. That's the waiting and identification on point. Exactly. That's the difference. That's the difference between casinos and trading. As we said, you know, casinos, obviously the bigger difference in a casino is you have to play. In trading, you don't have to trade. You can't go to a casino and not play. I used to do that with my mate. We used to try and game the system, because the casino I used to go to when I was in high school used to give us free beers. So I would go there with my mate with like very little money and go sit on a slot machine and drink a lot more beer than we did actually spend money, until they eventually caught up to us and they were like, hey guys, can't do this anymore. But you see, we gamed the system. We got more beer and food, because they also had a free buffet. So we had beer, unlimited beer, we had food, and we just sit by a slot machine, literally losing less than we were eating and drinking. Eventually the casino stopped giving us free beers and food. But yeah, I guess, you know, like, that's how we game the casino, because at some point we're losing money, because it's gambling. They want you to play because you're going to lose money. And you lose money a lot faster than you're going to drink the beers. Unless you're breaking even all night. Then that's nice. If you can manage a system, a break-even system in a casino, I think that also holds value. You know, if you're like a homeless guy, for example, and you have only, let's say, 500, $1,000 bucks, and you got a break-even system, You got a place you can go to for free drinks and free food, right? And you're just gonna break even the whole day over there. You gotta meet people, you can talk to people. You never know who you're gonna meet in a casino as well. So even break even is powerful, chat. Even if you get to a break even stage in your trading, very powerful place to be. The fact that you're not losing money is amazing, you know? It was really nice. It was really nice casino over there. It was always run by like these Russians. That's good. Привет, как дела? Я пришел тут играть, попить чуть-чуть, и потом увидим, что будем делать. Alright, look at this. Starting to break 43.50 over here. Let's see if we can get a push. Let's see if we can get a push. I want to see Goldie distribute. Come on, Goldie, run. See if we can actually break above these highs. Let's see if these buyers are still in. It's like a sport. You know, the thing about trading, which I love, it's like you're going to run your race. And then after you run your race, you just gotta sit there and then watch the other people run. Like if you ever did sports, what do you call it? Athletics in school or sports. Then you'd always go to the stadiums during those tournaments, and you know you'd run like you'd run around the thing, and you know when your race is done, it's like you just gotta chill there. You gotta be with your mates and just watch the races. Or if like your swimming competition, you know, that's how I still look at trading. It's just the same mentality, because I used to swim like a very high level for high school. So for me, that moment where I raced had to be fully locked in, you know, everything else was like chilled. Everything, I just needed to lock in for just that moment. And sometimes I'd race, you know, you don't race all day. You're going to have a few races a day, right? So maybe equivalent to like, let's say 3 trades a day. So you gotta have 3 swimming races a day, right? You just lock in for that moment. You give it all your all. And then after that, you're chilling. You're chilling. You gotta stir in your hands. So that's what we used to do. We used to like go for these tournaments, and we just used to, you know, fuck around and just go do other things, and then come back when it's time to race. We do our race, we give it our all, and then we go kind of do something else if we got a lot of time, you know. That's what we used to do. Go do something else. Then it's like trading. You just come here, give it your all, like you're swimming one race, and you fully lock in, and you don't have to be there all day, because that's super tiring. You wanna be as efficient as possible. So now we're just like kind of watching. I want to see these other races here. Once we break above 43.50, 30, see how that's gonna go for them. But I think it should be quite nice. Break above here and then see if price can shoot up again. Maybe we're gonna see like another 30 pip banger over there. Kind of distribute. It's flirting with the idea. It came up once and it just did a small U-turn. Looking at the time here, it's like 4:35 Eastern, so we still got plenty of time, at least until that 5 a.m. But maybe like one more push, then it fizzles, and then we get that continuation pre-New York. Have you any advice how to mentally prepare for higher lot sizes? Just slow and steady. You know, if you're going to start with a 10-cent lot, it's a gradual process, right? It doesn't happen overnight. It's the same thing the guy for AI says, the owner of NVIDIA. He says AI is going to be a gradual thing. We're not going to wake up one day and just find robots walking on the streets, right? It's going to take time. It's going to take time. So, you know, if you're going to start with a 0.10 lot size, you're going to slowly increase that to 0.15. You're going to go 0.25. And then slowly but surely, you start finding yourselves at bigger lot sizes. So you only increase your lot when you're performing well, not when you're in drawdown, or not when you're impatient and you want to make more money. Only when you're showing to yourself that if in your spreadsheet that you're being profitable, that you're being consistent, then you increase your lot size. So that's what I would say about increasing lots. Because some people, they increase lots just to increase lots. But the problem with that is if you hit a hat trick, which we call 3 losing trades in a row, then you're going to naturally want to run back to your old lot size because the losses look like they're accumulating quite fast. And the last thing you want to do is have a increased lot, go back to a decreased lot, because now you're going to decrease lot when you're making money. So now you have to work twice as hard, even more than twice, to make back your losses. Because now you're winning when with a smaller lot when you should have been keeping it consistent. So that's a psychology part you're going to face. And I think a lot of us face that as well in our trading journeys, is that same experience right there. Correct? We all facing that. The first times we want to increase our lots, we're always jumping back onto the older lot because we get scared. So you never want to do that. If you increase your lot today, stick with it. Stick with it. You know? Stick with it. Stick with it. If you're trying to scale an account though, if you're taking like really big risk, let's say like maybe 3%, 5%, if you got a milestone of $500 and let's say it goes back down to like $300, then you're going to have to decrease your lot because you're taking a lot of risk and you're just trying to flip the account, right? And then maybe at that point you have to work your way back up to 500, increase it back to 5% and just keep it there as a maximum and see how far that can push you. Maybe get to $1,000 and then withdraw some money. You maybe put aside some money, maybe your principal, put aside your principal. So now you're risk-free trading with the house's money, back down to 500, keep that same 5%, scale it back to 1,000, and then just keep scaling from that point. Because now you're playing with the house's money. So your psychology should also be in check to keep following rules. If it comes back down to 500, now decrease the 500 to 3%. So now you've set yourself a new milestone. Correct? So it's all a game of numbers, right? How good are you at playing with the numbers? You don't have to be a genius, but you have to find a system where you're more comfortable with progressing with, you know? It's not a very complicated math. I'm not very good at math myself, but that's very basic math. Very basic math. Can you explain those moving averages? Yeah, it's just a 50 and 8. You can download them for free in the description box. And the idea behind them is to show us when volume is coming. You know, as we're taking this trade over here, what do you notice about the SMAs? All right, what do you notice? Supporting candlesticks. SMAs supporting our candlesticks, and then we even got the SMA crossover, but there was so much volume because it's a lagging indicator sometimes, but we got the crossover when price was already up. But we got the SMA crossover, and that also shows like a volume indication, right? When the SMAs cross like this, they're just a form of dynamic support and resistance. And use that coupled in line with our entry models. This was the second one that we spoke about right over here. See how price broke above that accumulation and then just distributed. Notice how the SMAs are behaving here. Right underneath our candlesticks like this. See, it couldn't even create a bottom wick because it had that dynamic support right there. It just pushed it up. That's what we call the kiss of death now. See if we can get it right here. See, new candlestick open up. Here's actually, this was a kiss of death right here. Below this candle, and then I think we got another one here. Oh, but that one just kind of pushed up. So this was the one right here. But it's kind of like a similar effect though. You get that kiss of death and then it pushes the candlestick up in line with your entry confirmation, which is a TFX confluence breakout. But if you click on the link in the description, it should like explain it a bit. Very good stuff. Which strategy you use? I use my own strategy. TFX concepts, I call it. But if you want to oversimplify, you can call it like a breakout system, breakout trading. But you're not going to go on YouTube and type in, 5-minute breakout trading system, and you're going to find it. It's very different. It's very different the way we look at markets. And I think if you truly locked in and watched the stream for at least a quarter, you'd understand that it's not just a simple breakout system, but it depends on a few things. Right? A certain way that we like to see markets, certain confluences that we like to see. You can see daily bias over here too is a very nice indication of where price is going, and we have that in the description as well. Free indicator. It's going to show you market structure basically, and you don't have to do the work if you don't want to do the work, but obviously you want to be doing the work nonetheless. But it is a tool that will show you direction of market. The only indicator I use, simple simple is working for me. Okay, nice. Have you let's see. Bullish momentum slowing down? A little bit, yeah, because we're up 1% right now and we've already had so many pushes. I'm from India. I want to know which strategy you use. Welcome, welcome. Crypto Pratam. Welcome, sir. Please come again. Do you play Delta Force? No. Hello guys, just joining the family this morning. What the plan, please? The plan, gold is getting ready for a break. It's getting ready for a break above these highs. It needs to break above 43.50 over here. Right, but it's losing a little bit of steam. It's stuck within a range. This range is around 73 pips. But yeah, the plan is stuck in a range. It should be breaking the highs and then making a run for the ATH. I'm not searching UK spread betting, sir. Hey, we got a gift over here. And Rainsy got it. Let's go. Glad someone got it. WW A-Rod. Thank you, thank you. If I started trading with you earlier this year, I should be financially free by now. Well, if you started locking in and really paying attention to the education part of it too, yes. You would be financially free. You know, financial freedom is also, of course, it's financial, like in real terms, having money, but it's also a mindset thing. You know, because financially free, what does that mean? Like, obviously, you're going to have money in the bank account. You're financially free. You can pay your bills. You don't have to worry about money. But imagine somebody with a skill. Imagine somebody, that's financial freedom with infinity, right? Imagine, for example, if Justin Bieber today went broke, if he completely lost every single cent that he owned, he's still going to be financially free. All he's got to do is open his mouth and sing. That's all that he's got to do. Is financial freedom is a mental game, right? That manifests into physical things in reality. Because he's got a skill, right? You can't take away the skill from him. You can take all his money, you can take his clothes, you can take everything, but you can't take his ability to sing and sway people with his voice, right? That's financial freedom to me. So in trading is the same exact way. You could start from zero and still find your way to physical financial freedom. And there's no financial freedom like that. That's infinity. As long as you exist on this planet, you'll forever be financially free. But people don't understand that. You know, they're still chasing tools, robots, signals, all of these things, which are supposed to be just tools, you know, but financial freedom is found within. And let me tell you, like, you know how it feels like waking up knowing no one's gonna take away a skill from you? They can take away, you can get raided today. Police can come and take everything you own, or you could get robbed. They can't take away your skill, man. They can't. Even the haters, even all the people who hate on you, man, they still can't take away your skill. That's why they're gonna envy you. You know, that's why they envy you, and they're still gonna watch you. They're not gonna support you, but they're still gonna watch because they're like, damn, this guy has a skill. This guy has a skill, man. I envy this guy. You know, it's the same thing even if you watch Diddy's documentary, The Reckoning, right? What did they say about Diddy? Diddy was envious of Tupac because Tupac had a natural talent. He had a natural talent. He could make beautiful songs. He was just a natural around talented person. But Diddy was a faker. Diddy was really good at faking. He was very good at being a sponge in the industry and sponging all the things that work and then replicate that to make people famous. But Diddy didn't actually have any talent. So he really felt bad about people like Tupac, and eventually had Tupac killed because of that jealousy, because he didn't have any talent. Diddy always wanted to be in the documentary, he said he always wanted to be an entertainer. Even before he was who he was, he loved dancing, right? He liked dancing, he liked doing things. So he'll always want to be in the spotlight, even when he got famous, right? He'd always put himself in the music videos. He'd always show up to this award shows and do his dances and everything. He'd always wanted to be in the spotlight. But unfortunately, God gave him the skill of marketing. God didn't give him the skill of having that natural gift that a lot of the people he worked with had, like Biggie, Tupac, all these other people, right? So that's what made him into such a monster as well, was that all that jealousy. Even with all the success that he achieved, he still wanted to have that natural talent, right? So you see, that's a skill. No one can take away the skill from you. Skill is a gift. God can bless you with like different skills, and you just have to embrace those skills. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. Harnessing a skill set that can pay you. The problem is greed. Diddy's a very greedy guy. So even with having such an amazing skill, that guy was almost worth $1 billion, his net worth, before all of these things happened to him, right? Now he's probably like worth 300, 400, maybe 500 million. It was almost $1 billion, this guy, but he was super greedy. If there's one thing you know about Diddy, he was a very greedy person. That's why he never paid his artists anything. He would actually have albums released and never pay the producers. You could see it in the documentary. He was not appreciative. He was not humble of what God gave him, and then God put him in a very difficult position. But, see where your skills lie and embrace those skills. Because I never knew I was going to be a profitable trader trading breakouts. God had that plan for me, but I wanted to be a Fibonacci trader. The people I used to follow used to trade Fibonacci's. I thought I was going to be profitable trading Fibonacci's. It took me a long time to embrace what was actually being shown to me in the markets and accept that as my fate to what I was going to be trading. So, I mean, at the end of the day, just like realize and be very self-conscious about the things that you do in life, because everything is going to have a repercussion, a sort of repercussion. If you like overtrade, you can't get away with overtrading for the long run. Just like Diddy couldn't get away with what he did for the long run. It eventually catches up to you. So whenever you got like a bad habit, you have to remove whatever that bad habit is, because it's like a cancer. It grows, and it grows very slow, and before you know it, you're fucked, right? So if it's over trading, over risking, you have to already audit yourself and see, what is it that I can remove today for my betterment tomorrow? I wanted to be an FVG trader. God said no. He puts you on the path of FVG so you can learn a perspective of markets. That's all that it is, Like in the beginning, we all want a linear progression into trading. But what it is, it's actually very choppy like this, because you need to go through the trenches to understand different perspectives of traders to build that character. You need to build character to understand, okay, this is how FVG players are. This is how Fibonacci guys are. This is how they look at market structure. This is how breakout guys are. And all that is going to eventually, if you zoom out, right, that choppiness is going to look like a linear curve, because a lot of you only know me on YouTube for like maybe not a very long time, but because it's like zoomed out, it looks more linear. But I was not on YouTube for a very long time, and I was just doing discretionary trading, so it's not linear. If I started this channel when I was not profitable, then you would see the journey, but I started it when I was profitable, so you don't see the journey. But it's never linear. It's all blood, sweat, and tears, literally. Blood, sweat, and tears. And that's how you build something that lasts. Right? When it comes to you linearly, it doesn't last because you didn't put any blood, sweat, and tears into it. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Yeah, and the guy still got out, which is insane. So, do you believe in God? Christian God? No, I just believe in a higher power. But you got so many gods. The Indians have like so many gods even. Like, who's to say which is the right God? That would be like me coming here to tell you guys there's only one way to trade. This is the only way to trade over here. If you don't trade TFX concepts, you're going to fail. You know, that's not true, because you got people doing FEGs and still kind of profitable with them. Obviously, that's not what religious people want to hear. The moment I start digging into it like that, it's typically not what they want to hear. So, you know, that's their problem, not mine. Around 33 Terry. What's up, Joshua? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I remember like when I used to go to church, for example. I am naturally raised as a Christian. So when I used to go to church, sometimes like there are these missionary people. There's a weird look in their eye, and I don't know what that look is, but it seems very delusional. It seems very like over the top look, you know, kind of a crazy look. And man, those are like religious fanatics, you know, those are religious fanatics, man. You can't tell religious fanatics what I just said. They'll say, no, let me bring you closer to God, my son. But you see, that's the thing. Like, I don't want you to bring me closer to anything. Like, I want to have belief the way I believe, not the way you believe. That's the only thing with religion for me. But I do see myself or classify myself as a Christian, because I did grow up Christian. Important thing is that you have faith. Yes. The sad part is people who go to church, they just do it to make themselves feel good too, because they still do the same bad habits during the week. You know, they're gonna party on a Saturday and then go to church on a Sunday. Which also, you know, doesn't make sense. So if you're going to be super religious, like there's certain rules that you have to follow. And you know, with Christianity and a lot of these other religions, they're a lot more loose than something like being Muslim, or, you know, like how some other cultures actually try and follow it. So you don't drink, you don't do anything. And I don't think most people are willing to give up those types of freedoms. You know, it's a very difficult thing to follow by the book. Very difficult. You need like a very strong discipline if you're gonna follow it exactly by the book. I mean, at the same time, life is not perfect. Like, shit happens in life. I got a friend, right? He's very Christian. His whole family's Christian. He got married. Guess what? Divorce in like, I think they lasted only about a year. He went to a Christian school. It was also a missionary school. They got married. The whole family was there. Everybody's super Christian. He got divorced in a year. Life happens. Then what? Important thing is to be human and to treat each other like humans rather than treating each other based on religion. Yes. Yeah, then what? Then what happens? Because life is not predictable. You can't put life in a book. I would say people are not predictable. Maybe your life could be predictable, but people are not predictable. That's a lesson that I've had to learn over the years. Is if you want any consistency in your life, you have to focus on your own personal growth, because people are not predictable and they're not really reliable as much as you would like them to be, unfortunately. Sometimes you're the person who's like that, but other times as well, it can be somebody else. I was born into a Christian family, and when I started smoking weed, I hit a point where I lost my religion, and I slowly found my way back in my own way, and my relationship with God is as strong as ever. It's good to hear. I know a guy who's also, I don't know what part of, I think he's also, he used to be almost like a pastor. And I think something happened in his family where his family banished him or something. And that was also part of a religious cult thing that he had going on in his in the institution that his family was part of. I don't know what he did, what it was, but the way like you can get banished from your family too, which is insane. It's almost like a cult. I'll just try and be very cautious when it comes to those things. Yeah, ICT is kind of like a cult. His logo looks kind of cultish. He's built somewhat of a cult for himself. He's got to be very cautious about those things. When I was learning trading, I wasn't looking for cults. Because, you know, a cult, it's like you're going to have this one guy. He makes it seem like this. He makes it seem like this at least. You got this one guy and then everybody here is like in that FEG pool. But it's all based off of he makes it seem like this, right? That's how it seems. It makes it all seem like it's coming from him. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just say like, be very cautious about your journeys in trading. You know, there's a lot of roads to take when you start this journey. There's a lot of crossroads you're going to have to go through. But you wanna be as correct as possible about the decisions that you make and the rules that you set for yourself that you're gonna follow, just like in life as well. Because you don't want to follow something and then later figure out that thing has been kind of like hindering you from something else that was maybe more important to be focusing on. Because I've seen people trade for like, I've had students who've been trading for like 6-7 years, you know, and they still find it very difficult to remove these old ways, right? Yeah, it gets stuck in these old ways. It's hard to break away from that and actually find that freedom that you're looking for. It's not a joke, man. Like, the human psychology is very cautious. Keep your brain always moldable. That's how I like to look at it, because, you know, they say when you hit 30 years old, your brain already naturally starts to become the person that you are, set in stone. And if you're not paying attention, you become like your family. You become like your parents, right? That's what they say. Like, when you're younger, you're saying, I'm never going to become like my parents. But like, before you know it, by the time you're hitting your 30s and you have these ways about you, and if you're not moldable, you know, by the time you're getting older, you realize you just became just like them. Right? So you have to always be moldable. It's a daily thing, because your brain loves comfort. Remember, your brain likes to be the way it's wired, right? It's why it likes comfort. But you have to be the ones to push it. You have to be the one to always be willing to see different angles and things, different angles in life. That's why even with the trading system, your brain, a lot of you here also want a system which stays the same. That is just like 1 + 1 always equals 2, and you could just keep doing that over and over again. Yes, that's true, but it also shifts. It also shifts in the market. Like, the way the setup also comes, that also shifts, right? So your brain also has to be willing to shift. But if you're too stuck like this, and it's like 1 + 1 equals 2, that's why people with economics degrees and people who try to outsmart the market, they can never do it, because they're moving with a river, but they're moving like this. You know, it's not being able to take shape properly. That's why Bruce Lee says, when you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Put water into a jug, it becomes the jug. And that's a good level to be in when you finally start putting, when you finally get to a point where you have a bit more experience in the system that you're trading. Then you're more moldable. But in the beginning, you have to be like a brick. Basically, you have to have rules, and you have to see how those rules actually play out. If 1 + 1 equals 2, then you have to see how that plays out, right? But over time, you should be allowed to see from different angles. It's like learning to drive a car. In driving school, you learn how to drive a car, correct? But they're not going to teach you how to drift a car. They're going to teach you how to do all those other fancy things. My gold euro trade played out. Chart in Discord. Now patience my strategy. Gold euro, beautiful. Even got that gold euro breaky here. Broke above that resistance. Distribution, beautiful distribution. Look at that. Gold euro longs. This is my last gold trade last week. Oh, Tizzy. Nice. Yeah, even if you've been trading, you said, for what, 9 years? Then you know this. My pro indices. Don't waste your time trying to sell me anything or recommendation or any investment platform. Yeah, they don't read this. They're still gonna do that. Architect by profession, forex trader by passion. Building futures while raising a young king. Amazing. Yeah, man. If you've been trading for 9 years, then you know why this was a profitable trade. You know why gold moved like this and why you had a profitable trade. The crazy thing is, in the market, is the broken rules always plays out well, ends up losing. And yeah, man, like, that's true. Sometimes the risky trades which play out, right? That's what you mean? Because then the market doesn't play by the rules. You know? Like, even if you look at this situation that happened here, before we got stuck into our trade. Look at what happened. Price broke this high very slightly. And then it came down. And then it broke those lows very slightly. And then we got the distribution. You see, how do we get the distribution? How do we avoid this and how do we avoid that? We did that by waiting for a solid break of structure. That's how we did that. Because the market, it doesn't play by the rules, but it doesn't play by the rules like, it wouldn't do something absurd, you know? It wouldn't go like here and then straight down and then here and then straight up. That's a good thing about the market. Yes, it breaks the rules, but it does it in a very small and fine way that you know, it costs people money, but they're not going to realize it. That's how it breaks the rules. You know, it's a little stoppage here and here by 0.5 pips, maybe 1 pip there. You know, it's just small things like that. Those small little paper cuts that kind of like add up over time. That's how I say the market breaks its rules. It's a very delicate thing that it does. But only when you're a scalper, you truly understand that. But when you're on a higher time frame, as always, it's much harder to understand just how efficient that the market actually is. It's very efficient. It's very thought through the process. See, like right now it's 5 a.m. Eastern. It's kind of a slow hourly candle here we're expecting. We've created a resistance by 43.48 now. So this hourly candle is most likely just going to stay within this range, and we're going to start breaking out from the next hourly candle. That's what I would be typically expecting. Now we're chilling. In terms of fundamentals today, we have nothing. It's obviously clear here on a Monday. It's only tomorrow that we got to be looking and seeing how price is going to be behaving. So we've got ADP, NFP, bunch of things tomorrow. Um, yeah, but we're still good. We're still good for potential all-time highs for the day. Apex, I'm gonna block you here. I don't know what it is that you're doing, but I'm gonna put you in some timeout now. What do you think NFP will go about tomorrow? We're expecting like good numbers, or rather, let's say we're expecting bad numbers. Yeah, we're expecting bad numbers. So we're expecting a decrease from 119,000 to 50K. So I think NFP will go down for gold, but up for, I mean, go up for the gold. NFP will go up tomorrow for gold and down for the dollar. Because you see, the previous was 119,000 and we're expecting 50K. And the way we're already moving up here on gold, you know, we're moving already towards the upside. I think we could see further upside. But how are we gonna have ADP and NFP on the same day? That's a bit weird. It says tentative. So we haven't yet picked a time when this is gonna be coming out, the ADP. But it's a bit strange. That means this will probably have to come in during like the early sessions, like London session. Maybe we might get some fireworks. It has to come before 8:30, or it's just not going to come out. I don't know why they just didn't put the ADP on Monday. They could have just had it on Monday and then NFP tomorrow. Oh, I watched Predator last night. That was a sick movie. Have you guys watched Predator? Badlands 2025. It's pretty good. I feel like they could have finished a bit stronger, but I think it's the reason the rating was a little less. I think it could have hit an 8 if they finished a little stronger, because at some point towards the end it was getting a bit funny. But man, solid movie though. Very nice movie. The dollar has been losing value since February. What's the reason? It's because of the rate cuts. We've been getting loads of rate cuts on the dollar. That's why. Let's see on the let's see the weekly. Bearish last 3 weeks have been bearish on the dollar. The DXY, as you can see, 1 2 3 little 3 red soldiers. Current weekly is already heading towards the downside. Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing with the dollar. It should be coming down. Even into next year, we should be seeing dollar come down. Still holding that support by 100. See, like 100 psychological mark. They did one fake out here. And then here it's showing a reversal confirmation signal, but it's not breaking key structure to the upside. So it's still respecting 100. Price is going to come down. And then we're expecting as price come down here, that gold will go up. Continue pushing upwards. It's time to take it off. All right, Jackie, enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy. Yeah, nothing wrong with a little holiday. I mean, the Lamborghini is it's in the garage, yeah? Oh, it's not? Well, you gotta lock in, brother. Till you have Lamborghini tires in the garage. There is no takeoff. Trump also has a bill coming next year, which means a load of printing. Yeah, we got Trump in the mix as well. With Trump, there's always volume. There's always volume. So, you know, it's not like Joe Biden or someone like that, where we're not really going to be expecting much from his end in terms of macro news that could move markets. With Trump, this is why people... Oh, fuck, my hand. My freaking hand hurts. It's with Trump, it's not... he's always going to find ways to make people money, you know. Trump also works for the people. He works for himself. He makes himself wealthy, and he makes people who are financially educated wealthy. So Trump he's more for the people who are financially literate and know how to make money based on what he says. He's not really much for the people, just the general public, I would say, because, you know, Trump is a guy, it's like, if you don't like him, you're going to hate him, right? You have a really strong hate for him and the things that he says. And, you know, he says crazy shit. Sometimes he calls reporters like, shut up, little piggy, or something like that. If you're coming at him from that perspective, then you just don't understand him. You know, but the good thing is we're all in the realm to get splashed, and Trump in that case should be our buddy, you know, because he's going to create the volume for us. So money doesn't know bad or good at the end of the day. Money has no emotion. It's going to flow. And if the river is flowing this way, yeah, you're going to flow with the river, or you're going to fight the river and go against it with your own opinions. So yeah, next year I think Trump is going to create some amazing opportunities. You see, he's already creating amazing opportunities now. He's kind of twisting Powell's arm to get us the first initial interest rate cuts, at least, you know. Those are good signals, because Powell's job is to keep the market consolidating. It's to keep the dollar like stable, right? And he can do that for a long enough time. He's doing just enough to not get fired as well. He's doing his job correct. Powell's a guy who's like, he does his job just enough to also not get fired. So he has to keep the economy somewhat stable. A stable economy is more better than a volatile economy, right? It's better for him to take less risks, keep it stable, than take too big of a risk. But you see, Trump came in and he was like, all right, Powell, now you have to cut the rates. Now you got to do something. And that's why Trump was like, Powell has the easiest job. All he has to do is cut the rates. Because Trump understands. He understands the role Powell plays. It's to keep things consolidating, right? But Trump needs to make money too. So he wants Powell to get those rate cuts. Volume starts to kick in. And it's happy days for all of us. Right? What he does outside of that is none of my business. Like, yeah. None of my business. Because you can't change anything. Having a political opinion doesn't really necessarily change anything, right? Doesn't really change anything, but just focus on you, man. Like, I think at the end of the day, just focus on you. Focus on you. ATH coming? Yes. Why is the NFP on Tuesday? Because it got postponed. It got postponed because of the government shutdown. Hopefully by next year, everything goes back to normal. I don't know if this might be the last round of a news that's coming out. Right? And then everything goes back to normal. What's that? So just take off TP and just set SL, I think. People who just took a buy today most likely got a profitable trade. Dude, the price just went up, man. It just filled the whole freaking range. This is the whole range from Asia we spoke about all the way up here towards resistance. That's literally the target from that video that we made. That was the target. That's pretty much done. So anything beyond this point, we have to see another accumulation phase such as this that we had here. We're going to see it happen here. So then it can break with volume above that resistance. If we don't get that here, then it's going to be harder for it to break. You see, right now it's kind of like a lunchtime, basically. When price moves like this, you know most traders are satisfied, right? They're satisfied because our main ranges have been filled. So a lot of traders are already satisfied. They're not feeling like FOMO or anything like that. We know where we currently are sitting right now. So people have gone for lunch. Right? People have gone for lunch. They're going to come back later. They're like 6 a.m. heading towards New York session open. Then we can continue. When we get enough orders, then we can continue to break above that high. This is people gone for lunch. Like that was a move. That was it. This is all that I was expecting for up until London session, was just price to come up towards 43.49. You know, that's it. Because people felt FOMO, right? So they started getting in earlier because the opportunity was so great. And it happened throughout Asia. Should I hold longs? I mean, you hold longs in a consolidation. You're just going to be part of the liquidity, which is being built here to push it up. If you're planning on holding it towards all-time high, then yeah, I mean, you're going to be stuck here for a minute. I wonder how much profitable who holds gold from 2K. People hold gold from 2K, even below 2K, because countries have gold reserves, and countries have always been having like some kind of reserves of gold, like since the beginning, you know, the beginning of everything here. This was in 1970 when we started getting price action on gold. So governments have been holding gold since, you know, price has been even at $40 because I have gold reserves. Because all money is backed by gold too, so yeah, imagine that. But for an individual person, like as a retail trader holding gold from what you say, like 2000, that'd be nice. I mean, people bought gold at 2000. People will buy watches, jewelry, and that sort of thing. It's kind of a similar effect. Anyway, profit margins maybe are not so great unless you actually had like a position, not physical gold, but had like an actual position with a good risk to reward. Let's say you just bought $2,000. So you bought an ounce of gold at 2,000. All right, just bought an ounce of gold, good risk to reward. Because the problem is when you have physical gold, when it comes time to sell it, it can be a bit of an issue. Silver up 2%. Nice. Gold is up 1.02. See, human psychology. I knew it. I knew when I come to stream today, there will be very few people who are actually on stream. I knew it, man. Like, people are so easy to read. Like, that's the thing about becoming successful. You just have to do the thing people don't like to do. I knew it, man. I knew people wouldn't show up today. I knew it. I knew it, man. Like, people just don't do the thing that you need to do. That's literally the success. That's literally the secret to success. Just do the things most people just don't do. Like, literally. This has like, honestly been one of the best days of the whole year. And imagine that. The best day of the whole year is the day people don't show up. How crazy is that? Like, if you tell me universe doesn't have a sense of humor, then I don't know at this point. The universe has such an awesome sense of humor. It just lines up so perfectly with a lot of like human psychology. Also, a lot of these trade setups here line up really, really good with a lot of human psychology. That's why this trade, for example, we didn't get stuck in here, but we waited, right? Because we know with the human psychology, people rush these entries and they get into these drawdowns. You know, and the market knows this. It's a very small nuanced thing that the market does. Like something like this and something like that. That's why before we get into our entries, we're very cautious, you know. We want to see those clean breaks, those clean follow-throughs. clean breaks, clean follow-throughs. It's a very small thing. It's a very small thing because, you know, that's typically what happens when we overtrade. That's typically what happens when we over-risk. It's like a very small thing which expands very quick and very fast. That's like how people also get angry. When you get angry, it starts like small, but it expands very quickly, right? It's same with like with impatience. It's a small window usually that happens in the human psychology that you have to keep that shit tight. Otherwise, you just kind of like you kind of lose it in a sense, you know, you kind of lose it. That's why a lot of you gotta find yourselves over trading, and before you know it, the account is sitting in a heavy drawdown. Like when you look at the charts, you gotta see people, right? You gotta see psychology, not just candlesticks. This little liquidity grab situation that happened below here. I mean, for the sellers, this would not be a very comfortable place to be sitting like this. Like, that's the thing with selling gold right now, is if you take a sell on gold, the moment it goes against you, it's most likely going for your stop loss. Because the sellers are just not confident to see a price go into drawdown. Buyers can hold drawdown. Even if you take a buy and it goes into drawdown, there's still a better chance it'll play out for you based on the psychology of the market right now. But man, if you take a sell on gold and it gives you a hard time, you got to manage your risk on that. I took a few days off trading, but I still look at the charts. You just need to keep up the moves. Yeah, 5 to 10 minutes a day, and FOMO from FOMO. Oh, and FOMO from the good trades you miss, but you see. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Hey, Leon. Good morning. Good morning. I bought gold and silver in 2017. Do you think it was wrong? Obviously not. Come on now. You know price is up. Young flex. Is that a low-key flex? Alright, let's see over here. Comex gold futures seeking to test resistance at 4,400 an ounce. See, we're even looking at 4,400 over here. Gold Comex futures are seeking to test our resistance based on daily chart. Let's see, retail research. Joseph Chai says in a research report, the latest positive price movements reaffirm that gold bulls are still in the driver's seat. An upside breakout above this resistance level would improve market sentiment and attract fresh bullion momentum, propelling the futures towards higher resistance by 4,500. Yes. Oh man, it's a very exciting time right now. It's taking a small break. The races are on. You know, it's like we're going to watch a tournament that we've been waiting for, whether that's going to be like Formula 1, WRC, football, whatever. But it's like a tournament, right? And now we're just like, we're in the part of the day where people are just going to have some snacks. They're going to chill out for a bit. And then it continues in the next hourly. You know, next hourly candle, you're going to see people now walk into their seats. They're going to go and take their seats. And, you know, the races are going to start again. That's literally what's happening on gold. Nice little range here that gold is filling. This range is around, how many pips was this? Like 39. Little shotgun play entry right here. There's an FVG on 4 hour. Do you think we'll pull back then go for ATH? Usually when prices momentum like this, it's not too pullbacky. So if you're waiting for pullback, sometimes you don't get the pullback. So we used to miss a lot of trades, or I used to miss a lot of trades waiting for pullbacks. And then I would sit down with myself and think to myself like, man, today I knew where price was heading, but I didn't get the pullbacks, right? So I had to figure out a way that I could trade without the pullbacks. And you know, moving forward, I would only have systems that would get me into entries that didn't require much of a pullback. Because like, it's usually those days, you know, which are really good days. They don't give you pullbacks on really good days. They just go without you. Most of the really good days like today, they don't give you pullbacks. That's the unfortunate thing, you know. You might get a pullback every now and then, but for the most part, especially if you're trading gold, this is not GJ. GJ can give you pullbacks, but gold, it doesn't give too many pullbacks. It will have its initial push first, if anything, before the pullback. So push up, distribute, and then pull back later to check that zone again. Because when it pushes and distributes, there's a lot of orders which came in, so it moved price. But the market knows that even though RainZ pushed price up, it still needs to come back to see if there's actually orders for people who want price to continue moving up bullish if no one was able to sustain that move. So then that's when the market then pulls back to recheck that zone. But usually when you get that first initial push, it's a good push. On gold, you know, you can see like 20-30 pips before it comes back to recheck. But something like GJ is kind of slow. It will push, but then quickly the market will come back to recheck before it continues going up. So if you got break and retest strategies, then you have to say the instrument you're trading if you wait for break and retest. But gold is not necessarily a nice break and retest a trade to be taken if you're waiting for physical candle confirmations for break and retest like this, right? But the good thing is if you see it, at least if you see it too, you could leverage off of that idea. If it just so happened to fall on your lap and you see like a candlestick actually do like a break and retest, then you see it and then you can still get in. The whole day move is pulled back. We're just back to square one. The whole day pullback? What do you mean the whole day pullback? Are you looking at the same chart? Man, sometimes I wonder, is this the same chart? Like this is the Asia Open. That's where the day started down here. And it moved all the way up here. Say that range has been filled. Is this? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Human psychology right here, boys. See, the range has been filled. So you're seeing profit taking from the players here. But they know it's lunchtime, right? They know it's lunchtime. So if we're going to get a breakthrough is not coming now. A more solid breakthrough will come from 6 a.m. onwards into that New York session open. Right? But this time it gets a little bit trickier this time. So they're going to just scrape what they can get, which is ranges. Can't make this up, man. You know, there's an idea, part of the idea of the trade that we took earlier too. I was looking for price to fill this range. What we said on the 5 minute. Look what happened. Entry here. Same reaction. Isn't it the same thing? The same thing. Only difference is, you know, we never know what's going to happen from this point, right? It could continue moving up. It could fake out, but it's already filled that range at least. All right. It's the same thing that happened right here. And that's our repeatable pattern. That's why profitable traders remain profitable and unprofitable traders remain unprofitable. Because it's a pattern. You're either going to have like good habits that make you money, or you're going to have bad habits that don't make you money. Man, holy. That's a big whip. Sheesh, man. Greedy buyers here have gotten whipped. That's why you gotta manage your risk. You know, if price comes towards resistance, if you haven't secured something, then you got to never let such a trade go back into drawdown. Worst case scenario, you get out of it at BE. Worst case scenario. You know what I mean? Because market structure is only telling you it can move from point A to point B. Right over here. Well, this little bit of PA. Let's not even say market structure. Let's say this price action is telling you that it can only move from here to here. That's it. That's all that it can do. And now you see, now it's bleeding off. But guess what? As it's bleeding off like this, you know what it's doing? It's doing this. Essentially, it's just repeating the same old tricks again. It's setting up again for another move as it's currently doing this. So you never really miss anything in the market, you know? It's just like the market's always got an itch. Think of the market like we say it's got an itchy back and it's always trying to scratch that itch, right? But you know, sometimes we get this itch and we can't get that itch. It's like that. It's like that. It's like a forever tormenting back itch, the market. And that's how you can look at ranges. Forever trying to scratch that itch. Imagine that, chat. That's like pure hell. Right there for the markets. The markets must be living in hell. Got all this scratch and itch, but it can never scratch the itch. It's gonna come back and try and fill up some of this range. And the itches can be pretty big as well, you know. Like right here, this is why we spoke about the analysis video that we made yesterday. We tell everybody price is going to be moving up throughout the Asia, maybe, or pre-London. We still had the same range over here to get filled. So you see, it filled up the itch here. And we said also, if we break above these highs, then we're going to fill up the range towards this resistance. So it had it to do like, you know, Elastic Man from Fantastic Four. It had to do Elastic Man stretch. And like extend its arms so it can like stretch that itch all the way up there. Like, oh yeah. The forever itching beast. The markets. Still holding long. ATH coming. Good luck. This is lunchtime, my friend. We still have a little bit more time here to kill before like you're gonna get into a reasonable time where throughout the whole year, probability wise speaking, you're gonna have a much higher probability to catch the runner, right? If you sample size this time throughout the whole year, you'll see that 5 a.m. Eastern candle is quite slow. It's quite slow until we actually start opening up. Actually, the real genuine move really comes actually during New York session, but pre-New York can give you some decent pushes for little scalps here and there. But if you're looking for that extension, that full extension, you're gonna have a much better chance actually during the New York session open with a continuation, if that's what you're trying to catch. I would say your next best bet is going to be wait for NY session to open up. Look and see where the fake outs could be as well. You'd want to ideally see the market fake out like a key level like this. So ideally, let's say if price does something like this, and then that's the New York session open, then you'd have a much better probability that we're actually going to keep going up for the rest of the day at that point. But until that happens, I think we're just going to play around this area for a bit, which is still not bad because the whole range that you're trading in is about 168 pips. Right? You still got 168 pip range. Waiting for the 11 a.m. candle open UK time in 30 minutes. It's been a game changer for me. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think like once you understand the time and the way price action operates with time, it's a game changer. I agree. It's a really, really good game changer. Just understanding that time alone is a huge game changer. Huge game changer, because you know you have a certain probability of direction now, which sometimes you have to have a little bit more correctness on the direction rather than your entry model, because the market it may know what a consolidation breakout is, but if I'm just gonna say generally speaking, it may not really understand all these entry models and all these names and ways you take things. Because I could take a buy here with a consolidation breakout. Someone could have taken the same position with something else, a trend line or a volume indicator. So it doesn't differentiate. It doesn't say, oh, this was the one, right? It doesn't do that. It functions mainly off of like also time, the market. So think about it objectively, right? Let's put ourselves all in a level playing field, and no one is better than anybody. Smart money people, especially you, because they think they got it all figured out. Let's just say nobody is better than anybody, and we're all in the same playing field. The market won't be able to differentiate much from anybody's strategy, except one universal truth, which is much easier for it to understand, is the time. You know, that's why you're gonna have higher probability volume during London Open, New York Open. That's why price moves a certain way during the NYSE Open, the London close, and as well as it's heading towards just market close in general. Right? So it's just price. So we got here price X time. So what is the price action doing? And what is it doing at that time that it's trading? Right? And you can look at time in a multi-layered thing as well. Look at time in the real world. What times are we living in? So I can stop put an S over here. What are the times that we're living in? There's the times where we just had FOMC rate cuts. There's the times where we're seeing price, we're getting crazy bull runs on gold. This year it's been up like already 65% plus. And it's also looking at the times that we're in. It's a bar right there. So that's kind of what you'd want to really like focus on. Price and time. Master those two things, right? Because remember we spoke about in the video for market structure and price action, PA is the thing which pays you. So you gotta master price action and then time. What time is it that you trade? Because a guy trading Asia will have a different psychology to a guy like me trading now like London session. You can't have the same psychology for all sessions. Like for me, pre-London time, ideally that's a time for runners. That's a time for bumper clots. You know, ideally also if the market has not moved. London, we can get nice extensions, but it's more of like, let me not be greedy. Yeah, let me see the ranges that we have, because most likely we've already moved for the day. So we got like ranges like this, and just respect the PA. You see, PA is telling you can only take it from here to here. So just take it from here to here. It's a lower chance at this time that you're going to get that bumper clot, especially when price has already been up like 1%. Oh, you got to dip, Woods? All right, Woods, take care, take care. I hope you're feeling better. Damn, son, you teaching still when you're sick? Hope you well, hope you well. Let's see, got it. Second mouse M1 on low volume and bullish fundamentals. What time is it? Go trying its dirty tricks. Yes, sir. It's gonna scratch its back. Remember, it's got an itchy back, Gold. So it's gotta give it like a good little scrape over here. Probably another range to get filled. This one's about a 52 pips. 53 pips. I think it also scraped a bit of its back towards the downside. There must have been some clean ranges here. Very risky sells though. I guess it's flirting with the idea to break support here in the next 15-minute candle. Come down. Still kind of like risky. You still want to be on a buy bias, to be honest, on gold. Maybe you might get away with like a few scalps. It's like how price over here actually extended quite a bit to the downside. But you see how I pulled up so quickly again? It's like it went to grab liquidity right over here and then quickly started pulling up, but then it didn't have enough steam. This is yeah, it didn't have enough steam to keep going. So it did a double fakey. It faked the highs and it faked the sellers on the lows. This is classic London. This is classic London behavior because typically the moves have happened. So you can get away with a few moves here and there, but nothing too serious. Then the market will start playing, and then it'll start moving again. From pre-NY, we should start to see some more decent sized pushes, but direction, true direction, NY open. But I just wait and see how the PA is also progressing. Like right now, it's still showing us that it's waiting. It's still waiting. You waiting for another drop here before you go long? Alright, Ranger Man, enjoy your fresh air, sir. I only used to trade pre-London and London since pre-NY taken 12 Ws, 4 BE, 2 Ls in the last month just in this hour. Yeah, 6 a.m. is very nice. In this next hour opening, right? Or which hour? Got about like 17 minutes for hourly candle closure. It's also got that support right here too. See, it breaks that support, comes down to hourly support, but I doubt it. I doubt it actually we're gonna dump like that heavily. I feel like it's gonna pull down, create structure, and then start pulling up again. Especially if we don't break above this resistance now, because you know essentially what it is, you're trading the bottom of the range. You know, you have support over here and you got resistance up over here. So if you look at market structure is moving upwards, right? And now if you're going to take a buy, probability and structurally speaking, it makes more sense to see something like this happen for price to fill up the range, much like, you know, what already happened right over here. Yeah, and then for price to come up and fill that range. And then I think like the sells are gonna be just a way to trap impatient traders. And then once the moment that sell starts to reverse, that's gonna be a beautiful confluence. And it's a reason why I took a buy this morning as well, because I also saw a sell that was not playing out. That was becoming now a beautiful confluence for price to go in the opposite direction. So you might see like a small little fake out situation happen here first, and then price is gonna move up towards like 43, 46. But yeah, this is like, if you're gonna look at the playground, this is all that you get now. Sells still would be a bit risky. It lures you in. The market has a way of luring you in. That's why I got lured into a sell this morning too that ended up in a break even. You can see right here. Took one sell, which is a break even. Then we took a buy and a buy. But it lured me in because, you know, I thought the price had already filled my range, which it actually did. But it still had another push in it. We just got a candle close below support now. It just created a top wick. Oh, we got sellers in here. Man, you know how tempting this looks for sellers on the 15? Let's see how that looks on the 30. Because it's just got to drop. It's just got to drop. It's just got to break below here. This is how the market lowers you in. Look at how it lowers you in. It's got to break that low, and then it has like a little bit of a wick fill situation to come down here too. It's roughly around like 44 pips. And then beyond that, you have clean range. And it just looks like it wants to fall right now. It looks like it wants to nut. Gonna nut if it breaks below 43.37. Very, very tempting, especially after that top wick. Ooh, if you're a seller in the market, looking kind of tempting over there. The only thing is, you know, the 30 is still open. 30 came all the way up here from this little kiss of death situation that we had off that 8 SMA. You can see the kiss of death right there and see how price just pushed down. It's completely nutted, but you know, this 30 minutes a bit extended, you know. It would have been nicer if it was a bit like fresh, but you know, it can still give a pretty decent push. Look at the size of this previous one. That was about 111 pips. So at the break of those lows on the 15 minute, in principle, it could still do about like 53 pips. So it's very tempting, but it's got to break those lows. You see, it's getting like impatient traders now. Some people get impatient. They get in too early. See, it didn't even break the structure. It's starting to pull up. It's starting to pull up. And you saw how fast it moved down? I don't know if you caught that, but you saw how fast it moved down? Like when it was trying to like behave like it wanted to push. Shit like that get people like make mistakes. People will press the buy button by accident, but it's also doing a reversal confirmation right here. Look at this. It just broke a key level structure. Reversal confirmation, break of the highs by 43.40 with clean range to keep moving up over there with a daily bias. That's a much better trade, at least in my opinion, because you're still trading with the daily, and also it's broken the highs, right? It didn't break the lows. It broke the highs. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. The reversal confirmation play. Oh, what's gonna happen? Does look like a fakie from the lows too. That candlestick closed below support like that. Dude, got some rejection wicks. 1 2 1 2. It's really nice looking accumulation too. I do like the looks of that one. Ooh, is it gonna move? It's gotta move. Zero drawdown, no siree. That's not a zero drawdown. See, like the one we took earlier was a smooth trade. Ideally, this is what you want to see, right? You just want to see a smooth entry. The moment it starts doing stuff like that, ooh, it gets a bit annoying. That's why you have like this is why you don't overtrade, because the moment it does stuff like this, it needs to be your first trade of the day or whatever trade it is, like you actually meant to take, so you don't mismanage the position. Because if you overtrade, what's going to happen is if you don't get that initial zero drawdown that you wanted, you mismanage on a... Why my internet keeps going off and on here, but you're going to mismanage on those little drawdowns. You got to mismanage on those little drawdowns and get scared out. So that's the reason why you don't overtrade. Because that's worse. It's worse to mismanage and then take a loss on a winning trade. That's some really nice range to keep moving up. But remember, it's still 5:50 a.m. candle. My next session is going to start at 6 a.m. So I would definitely have already missed this move. But anyway, guys, I'm going to head off here. I will see you all tomorrow for London Open. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the market conditions. They're amazing right now. And I will see you all then. Adios.